Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so we've now basically done approaching a junction and emerging from a junction. But we're going to finish off the junction work today with something called a crossroads. So again, the really good news is that all the routine that you've used for a T-junction is actually what you need to do for this one as well. Because all we've got in this situation is an extra road, like an extra side road in the case of what we can see here. So if we were on the main road, again, remember we'd have priority. And so just the normal rules would apply. As we go past, we're going to have a quick look into the side road just to make sure that there's nobody, like an emergency vehicle, trying to come out of there. Well, today then, because we've got the extra road, all we need to do with regards to our observations is just scan both of them instead of one. And again, if we see something, we'll deal with it appropriately. So that's the first thing I want you to think of. But there are lots, as you can see on the pictures, of types of crossroads here. The first one is what they call an unmarked one. Now, because it's unmarked, it means that nobody from any direction has priority. And when that happens, you've got to use extreme caution if you see another vehicle approaching at the same time as you. Because of that, you've got to get the eye contact and make sure it's safe to complete what you want to do. But a normal crossroads will have this sort of sign on the approach to it, where you'll see that one of the lines is thicker than the other. And it means in this case, the ones that are going north and south, up and down, are basically going to have priority over the people from the left or right or east or west, whichever way you want to put it. Now, that will help you with information as to what's happening when you get there. You might not have realised it, but traffic lights are also a form of crossroads because, again, it's still that plus sign. And the general rules are just dictated by the traffic lights. If it's green, it means go for us. If it's on red, we'll just wait until it's our turn. Now, if you're turning right, just like you do when you're coming from the main road, the approaching a junction situation, when the lights do go to green, we're going to wait where the turn is rather than at this white line at the traffic lights. And if the road was empty, complete the turn. If it's not got cars coming, we'll just wait. If the lights do go to red, again, look for that chance to get out of that situation. Now, hopefully from your theory test, you've remembered that there sometimes are yellow box junctions in these. And if you get one of those, it just means it's a busier junction, and the rules are just like you've learnt and told me earlier, which is that you can't go into that box junction unless your exit is clear. The exception to that is if you're trying to turn right, because on those, one car is allowed to wait in the middle and look for his opportunity to go. And again, the flow of the traffic will work out when that will happen. So it's nice and simple. Now, when it comes down to it, so the main thing that we've got to look at is basically, well, in fact, I'll deal with these little pictures first before I go into the priority. Because there are basically on the crossroads, when you come from the minor road, this opportunity to basically see where we need to go. So what I'd like to do is, if it's just a normal crossroads where the road opposite is normal, then I want you to approach it in your normal driving position, that 1 metre from the curb. But sometimes the roads are staggered. And what I mean by that is the road opposite is not facing you. It may be that it's actually staggered to the right, like this one in the picture. And therefore, the best position we can do is to get the car over towards the centre line as if we're turning right, but there's no signal on the car. And then, once we know it's safe, just go straight across in a straighter line. If it was staggered to the left, you might have to angle the car actually to a different position. And if the stagger was way out, in other words, you could get the whole car into the new road, you may find that you get instructions where at the crossroads it's turning right, followed by an immediate left, rather than follow the road ahead, bearing right or left. So that means that you're going to signal before you get there. Now, if you're on the main road, there are two ways you can turn right. And I say, if there's another vehicle trying to turn right at the same time as you. And on this one, this is called offside to offside. What you'll see is the offside of our car is going round the car that's coming towards us. And the reason that's a good one to do is because you get a better view of what's down the road, and therefore it should feel safer to do it. However, some situations we can't do that. You see in this one, the big lorry, there's no way we can go around it, we'll miss the turn. So what we've got to do here is go near side to near side. And the dangers, as you can probably see here, is that we've got a restricted view in the case of this lorry. That big blind spot area contains a yellow car. And if we've just gone, potentially we're going to have an accident. So again, you've got to use your own decisions on this. Do we do the peeping and creeping thing, or do we just let the lorry go? We've got to make our own decision based on experience as to which the best thing is. Now, I said before that we're going to look at priority. The good thing is, on the approach to the junctions from the minor roads, you still do your normal mirror signal position, speed and look. But the look part will change, because what we've got to do when we get to here is think about what's going to be on that main road. And if it's empty, great, just like a T-junction. but now we've also got to take in what's opposite. So if there was a car coming in at the same time as us and the main road was empty, we need to think about who has right of way. But the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you're looking in all directions. So instead of right, left, right, I'm going to get you to do right, centre, left, and left, centre, right. Almost like windscreen wipers going around your car. And we're going to keep doing that until we know it's safe. Now, going back to the thing I just said, a car comes on the opposite side of the road. You've got there, as I say, as well, and basically we have to work out who has right of way. The best way I can explain it is if we want to turn right and the car opposite wants to go straight on or left, it's the car opposite that has right of way over us. But if we want to turn left or go straight on and the car opposite us wants to go right, we should have right of way because he's crossing our path. Now, obviously, you'll see the learner plate, so again, you might find that a car thinks, no, I'm not waiting for the learner, I'm going to go. Or he might think, I got here first, I want to go. So when we get to these junctions, even if we know it's our priority, we still need to get eye contact with the person opposite. Now, the only reason I want you to keep looking opposite, even if you think it's empty, is that potentially things can change very quickly. So imagine somebody's come off the drive, they want to go right, we could end up in some issues. So always keep doing those observations around the car, including the road opposite. But apart from that, it's just going to have a lot of fun. So are you ready to have a go?